Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Well, let's grab the links. No. Dum, 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 dum. And where's this one? Where's the other one? I do that. Thank you for the 2 loyal people that have the alert thing set up so that you get the link like immediately instead of having to wait for me to post it. I think what I should do is I should come in before I eat and post the link. And that way you guys can all get in and like hear like the spill at the beginning and want to have like this dead space at the beginning. You know? I think I'll start doing that. Eyes are watering. All right. Some buy-in, but they are not letting them go up at 26.5. Okay, well. Had a little bit of a move up in equities. A little bit of a move down in treasuries. Not sure if there's going to be a move today for head of FOMC or not. But that's kind of where we're at. I'd have to say that that right there was pretty negative. So maybe we're going to move down. Maybe things are starting to look... I mean, the equities getting up where they are and having the run that they've had. I mean, that's pretty crazy up, right? So, I guess we'll see. Now they're hitting into 25.5. Ah, but there's an iceberg there too. I don't know if I want to join in on that thing. Gonna have to say I would prefer going short though. Yeah. One there like that. Still don't get the day or overview, that's okay. Cool. Good morning, Voldor. Oh hey, you were on yesterday and you're back. Thank you. Usually the Twitch people don't stick around because, you know, Twitch is mostly
block
kids.
sell.
Oh my. He's insistent. We can get a breakdown lower. Okay, I think given the context, I have to take this now. Donald Trump tweets, "The fake news media has never been more dishonest or corrupt than it is right now. There has never been a time like this in American history. Very exciting, but also very sad. Fake news is the absolute enemy of the people and our country itself." I mean, this could just absolutely like turn against us, but to see this much volume selling it right at the outset is a little unusual. And given that it's FOMC day, I think that they have a good reason to be selling it. It now looks very likely that Ms. May will go to the EU summit to ask for an extension without MV3 having taken place and without a definitive plan as to what the extension is for, says Deutsche Bank. Nate Silver says, O'Rourke's positions seem like they're probably pretty close to those of the median Democratic voter. Yes. Okay, so taking that was correct, but it didn't get filled. The CBOE delisted their Bitcoin futures? That's super effing shady now. Why are they doing that? Nobody hitting 25, huh? Well, it's a good position. I don't know. Why not? Well, 24 is kind of a spot.
Block
Retracing
sell.
Friday's move. Jeez.
Block sell.
That's nuts. Well, I think that I should have just hit into it when it was 25, you know? And this train has moved without me. And because it's such a crazy trend, it's extremely difficult for me to know how far it's going to go. But especially in this location, where they are starting to push some of my reversal edges, I don't want to sell it. I'm going to wait for it to come back up. That's just insane. I mean, to be selling it like that. Okay. They just stopped. So that right there, 22.5 is touching the third standard deviation. So this is as big of a move as it gets. And there's a very high probability of it turning around here. I'm tempted to buy it at 22F, but I know that that's probably a bad idea because you're going to get a pullback. It might only get back to 23.5. Oh man, this is like a really wild trend. Good morning, Ms. Z. Let's see here. What did Lucas say? Feeling really stupid, taking only 2 ticks, selling at 26. Ah, oh, dude, you did a good job. Still getting 26 is a good price. You should be proud of that. This is what a move. It really sucks. Some of the big ones lately I've been... That's happened to me more than once on big moves. The ZB, by the way, really, really went. The ZB actually, the knob spread stayed flat. Didn't move. FYT actually steepened a little bit. And what about... Okay, so I'm just kind of looking over at things here. The 6J moving down with it. The Euro not really moving. So it can't be Brexit stuff. British sterling down a little bit, but yeah, everything kind of moved with it. Everything kind of moved with it, but it really looks like that Treasuries did this on their own, and yeah, there might be another little push down, and then you might come back up, and maybe we could go short 23.5. We'll see. But somebody just came in and just destroyed this thing. So many block cells and everything, they just really took it. That's just a really wild. Oh, Adrian, he was able to catch the trade that I wanted. And here, like on the move back up, they're not really doing very much either. May's spokesman, there's a determination to find a way to vote on Brexit deal. And what is Donald Trump tweeting about here? We all know that the real Donald Trump turned down Kellyanne Conway for a job he desperately wanted. He barely worked at the Justice Department and was either fired / quit, didn't want the scrutiny. Now he hurts his wife because he is jealous of her success. POTUS doesn't even know him. A total loser. Oh, Mr. Kellyanne Conway for a job he desperately wanted. So he's implying that Kellyanne Conway's husband is anti-Trump because Donald Trump turned him down for a job. Okay. I don't know. The whole Kellyanne Conway thing with her husband makes zero sense to me. Like, if I was in a job like that, there is no way that my wife would say that sort of stuff. Even if she had an opinion. Because she just would not want to hurt me like that. You know, like the kind of, I don't know. That must be an interesting dynamic there. I hope Uzi is watching this and taking the opportunity. Now, Missy, have you joined us before? Because the name kind of seems vaguely familiar, but it certainly hasn't been recently. But I'm wondering if you're one of our older friends or something. I'm just saying the momentum is huge, but I see accumulation in both the ZB and ZN. Yeah, the thing that I think is a little crazy about this move was that those bids did not pull at all. They just steamrolled right over them. The block cells, frankly, came in faster than they had the ability to pull. Like look at this right here. The red wasn't that strong, and it's already subsided. Do you see any divergence with ES? I don't. Like, ES barely moved at all. Yes, it was me. Oh, he's seeing his wife off. Well, you already missed the fun. So, okay, so now that time the E-mini moved down a little bit, and the Treasuries tried to take 22 again. They've gone sideways enough at 22. Maybe they could try taking another little step. Overall, though, I would say that this thing is like way too anxious to go. What is it? What is prompting this move? It must be something that they think from the FOMC.
Block sell.
Jeez. Right? Now, the problem, Missy, that I see is that they didn't pull, but they're still steamrolling right through them. So that could just be fuel for us to go lower here. Like they need to go sideways just enough to, you know, get a little backwash, I guess. And then they could totally go lower. And where could we see? We could see, well, the local low is 18.5. So we could still go a little bit further. See, like, it just ticks that way too easily. I don't know. You could have sold at any of these prices and made money, right? I think I was way too stingy there. But we're just like a deer in the headlights here. Like, should I sell 20.5? I don't know. It could put, you know, this could reverse for like 4 ticks really easily. But these guys are just getting destroyed. And if you try taking the orders at like where the block sells are happening, you're not getting filled. Hmm. All the time that I'm seeing this, the only stuff that I'm seeing pop up in my news feed is about Brexit and the UK asking for a delay or like delaying it by a year and on all of this stuff. But the headlines are like very vague, and I'm not seeing the euro or the sterling move off of this. It's entirely okay. So the 6J did come down with that last little flush. There's when I look at the 6J chart, I see room to go. Longs are shitting diamonds, right? Okay, well, there's a little bit more significant of a pullback. This is kind of like what we saw on the last trend when it was trending up on the 15th. So they came down and then went flat for a little bit, and then they really went down and then it came back up. And then if I recall correctly on that move, then they made a secondary push a little bit later. Yeah, it was about 30K sell. It was pretty crazy. Contacted by CoinDesk Friday, a spokesperson for CME said the exchange has no exchanges to announce our Bitcoin futures contract and declined to comment on CBOE's pullback. This story in Bitcoin with the exchanges pulling the futures, man, okay, so there is some absorption at 21. It does say I can take it. Fine. Turkey's Ed Rogan scolded for airing New Zealand massacre footage. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that. Humans, that is, oh my gosh. Now that is interesting that I'm reading that news from Zero Hedge. So the Western world is so concerned about this thing that they're not even going to report that Ed Rogan was what how do I want to put that? I don't know. They don't want to report on it. Scary. It's kind of a weird situation with something like that because when I read that, I'm like, okay, you know what? That is news that we probably don't want to have spread. But then at the same time, doesn't that kind of make it important news? hmm. I felt like a lot more hit that than 400, but it must have only been a few orders, a few little orders, a little spurt of selling, probably from retail traders. Damn it. It's close. It's a good signal. Problem is it might not be good for much, you know? We could see, okay, so there's 22. Let's make sure we get this up here. Okay. Uzi, I got one contract left on an initial short at 31. Holy shit, dude. I shed 3 at 24 and 2 at 16. Damn, boy. That you did good. Well, that's why I couldn't get filled, man. Uzi, too damn greedy. Got too much. It's a good trade, man. Well, it's not like we didn't see it. It's just my execution was not the right thing. For this situation, I really should have been trying to take a market order. Now, not on this one. On this one, a limit order is absolutely the right thing. Because if I had hit into 21.5, you know, who knows, that could pull really easily. In fact, now that there's 6K built on it, if they hit into it, I want to try and hit into it to see if I can make a tick here between these two. But he still has one contract on. Let's see if it could go lower. I think it could. Well, they beat the local low out in ZB. There's still 10. They could go to 10 in ZB. Okay, 5-minute warning for the red book. Ooh, red book year over year. Okay. Okay, that worked out the way that I wanted. Would like that to stay offer if I could, if it will. Come on. There you go. CF not hitting it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's one of these. So what just happened was, you know, I had a good spot in the queue. And it turned out that almost all of the, everything that was stacked there at 21 was fake. So you could potentially hold that. They might try and dash this down again. But when you see that they were only able to get 3 ticks back up, and then they started pushing down again. So this is still crazy, insane short. So crazy, insane. Oh. What are the? Let's see if any of the other guys are seeing anything interesting. Metals. Nope. Nat gas. I'm surprised at how active the natural gas channel has been. Nope. Huh. Okay. I mean, this is a tough call. I think that there's a bleh. Okay, normally with a downtrend like that, you don't want to fight it. Absolutely not. I mean, that was a crazy downtrend. But look at how much has traded now between 21 and 22. That a lot has traded here. There are absolutely people buying and accumulating this. So it's kind of a hard one because we don't know why they're selling it so hard. I mean, selling it that hard, there's got to be a good reason for it. So it's hard for me to take along, but because so many people bought there is a possibility of this, warping back on itself a little bit for a bit. Okay, 1 minute warning for the red book. Cabinet sources say the Prime Minister is writing a letter to the European Union today asking for an extension. Frustration that she is going to ask for end date of June 30th with proviso of delay of up to 2 years. God, please. I cannot take 2 more years of this Brexit nonsense. Like, please, just do it. If you're having a bad day, try to focus on the fact that at least you're not having as bad of a day as Kellyanne Conway. So is there a story about Kelly out here that I'm not reading? Because there must be more than what I'm seeing. Okay. So there's the red book. Oh, no, I take that back. I don't know. It's not on my Forex Factory one. It was only from Jigsaw. Okay, there it is right there. Okay, so actual 4.9 versus a previous of 4.4. And month over month, actual negative spot 1% versus a previous of negative spot 3%. Okay. Market has quieted down a little bit, but they're still pushing down. At this point, I don't think I can buy 20.5. It sucks though that I'm looking for long. You don't want to take a long in this kind of action. Hmm. Okay. That's 9K at 21.5. Watch them not go the full point and pull up at 31 ticks just to screw with everyone. Well, I liked the way that got filled in now. Not liking it. I can do that. Fear, lack of decision, and general anger might push the government into another confidence vote situation next week, and some Tories might be so angry they vote against the government or abstain. It's the last days of Rome, says one insider. BBC political editor says cabinet sources say Prime Minister is writing a letter to EU today asking for extension, but there is frustration that she is going to ask for end date of June 30th with a proviso of delay of up to 2 years. That one we've already heard. It could be because of the Brexit thing, but I'm a little skeptical about that. Especially with it being ahead of the FOMC, you know. I think that traders would care about that a lot more. Okay. So they bought that one pretty aggressively. I think that this is still okay. I don't think spreads should move a lot now. So watching the short end, CT, ZF looks strong. In my opinion, could pull back there. That stack is strong. Let's just look really quick at the, you know what? I never switched these ones. So let's do that. ZT. Okay. ZT looks like it's not quite ready for it to do something. UB. There you are. Okay, so 21 has become the balanced price. That's good. I think I'm just going to take one.
Connection lost.
Oh no, I lost my connection to Coinbase. Oh no, it was my connection to AMP. And yet I'm still getting data over here. It wasn't everything, it was just the price feed for some reason. Yeah, okay. I was like, what's with that? I just need to reload the level 2. Hmm. Cool. What's good? What's John got here? Man, you hear my stomach? That's crazy. It's acting like there's nothing in me. But like I ate a ton for dinner yesterday, so I don't know what's with that. Kazakhstan president quits. 31 tick range. Is the 6J coming back? Yeah, it is. They got a little tail there and maybe even a blue bar. I don't know if they're actually going to get to 21.5. It looks pretty balanced at 21. Man. Just die if that's what you want to do. Good grief. Uzi's back. I don't know, man, Uzi. It normally they would go a full point, right? And they came one tick short. Cool. Jigsaw Trading has posted their video about good action versus bad action. I missed that webinar because I was just working too hard that day and forgot what time it was, so I would like to watch that. When you think you are buying the lows. Yeah, right? It sounds like M. Lebon got caught on the wrong side of this thing. Okay, so they did pull at 21.5. Fine. I'd prefer not to be buying that, but just the fact that 21.5 pulled and just the way that that happened says to me that this could come back a lot more. But there is this step in the profile. Give this a short leash. Oh, what? So I canceled it gave me 2 in here and I canceled one and it took off the one that was at the good spot in the queue. So that's wrong. Pete, please fix. Well, it's awfully dead now. And 4K holding at 22. ZT has a huge monster offer there. Was that always the case? How many trades does Uzi take on average during a month? I'm interested to see how he answers that, because when he first came in here, he told me that he only takes one a day. But it seems that he's been getting pretty good catches and has been getting, just in this action has been good for him, and he's been taking more than that. Okay. Documents on FBI raid of Cohen's home officially released. They lured a few people to sell into 21.5, and it's stacking back up. And the 5-year does appear poised for a move higher, but they might slam it back down again first. I think buying 22 is not the best. I guess we kind of knew that, but I wasn't sure if I would get a fill at 21.5. Still might not get a fill at 20.5. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see if the original read was right or not. Okay. Oh, there you have it. ZT's got a really big offer on there. It's disappeared. Okay. Well, ZF looks like they might just shoot back up out of here. Let's see. ZT is a weird instrument. So there's that big offer. Selling at the bottom end moves like today is terrifying. In the past, I was prone to missing moves like this big time, but when 1,500 contracts tear through a level, it's hard to ignore that shit, and it's like I'm either making a couple grand today or I'm jerking it. Wow, I'm winning, hitting 71%, but on 7 trades, yeah. 7 trades just today? Or for the week? All right, yeah. Oh, for the month. Wow, really?
Block buy.
Okay, so that's interesting. They block buy, but didn't get through. It was 35. No, that's not gonna work. I should have just hit into 21. The 6J is still pointed down. I don't know. It looks like it's doing a cup and handle reversal, but it's hard to realize how much time it takes in practice. Yeah. Well, especially for somebody that's a retail trader, it takes a long time to figure things out. Like there's a certain amount of time to just realize what you got to do in different types of action and when those different types of action are likely to happen and realizing when they actually are happening. And then it takes a long time to figure out yourself too. That's why retail traders have so much trouble, because then they have these people that come out and tell them, oh, it's easy, you just do X and Y. And this is a person that probably just got lucky over a certain time frame and hasn't actually learned all of those things for himself. So he doesn't even know them. And, you know. So I'll always, you know, I was watching somebody the other day and they were saying, well, you know, if I wanted to accumulate something, I would make it look like that we're trying to sell it so that other people will sell it and then I can get filled long. And then I let it off and let it come back up. And I was like, yes, that's true. That does happen. Except for when it doesn't. Like today. Right? You win percentage will come down the more trades you make, though. I was in the 70s when I was limiting myself. I'm down to a more realistic 61% now, but how I approach winners and losers is different too. Well, yeah. Well, like the thing is 60 to 70% is like super, super high. And especially if you're taking a lot of ticks out of it, that's like a crazy. I don't know how you're hitting that high if you're taking a couple of ticks off of it. You know, like as big of a trade as you took if you're getting that off a lot. Just so you know, your channel has been a great help. It's a good thing you're doing for the community. Well, thank you very much. I enjoy it. It's, you know, to me, it's just really weird that a place like this didn't already exist, because it's just so obvious that this is what people need. But I suppose that people are just too greedy, because anybody that would have, you know, a room like this, you know, wants to charge people $50 a month and take money from it. And I don't want to make money from a trading room. I mean, it's great if advertisements and stuff like that make a little bit of money for the YouTube, because then we can put that back into it and, you know, do more elaborate things like you know, like the weekly political videos. But I want to make my money trading, you know. Thanks, Randy. Thanks, guys. I'm wondering if I should be buying 21, but I don't even know if that would get filled, you know. This one at 20.5, I think that if they were to fill that one, that is probably a bad idea. So I cancel that one. This loser really should have only been one. I shouldn't have given it that long of a leash. You could take 21 because of the profile. What makes this room value with the honesty? It's nice to see someone win, but it's more valuable to see someone go through rough patches and watch them evolve. Yeah, I think so. Because I think that someday, if I become successful enough, I think at some point we might have to change the way that we trade. Because if, you know, if I'm swinging a 1,000 lot and having everybody on YouTube see it, there might be a number of problems with that. Not only people trying to trade off of it, but there might even be regulatory concerns with that if you're trading big. But if that ever happens, the whole thing will be that we'll have, you know, a couple years worth of that you could go back and watch to see, you know, here was somebody that didn't necessarily know what they were doing at the beginning, and this was just kind of how they evolved and how you can do it too. There were times when I saw Seth was so down I thought he wouldn't return. I don't know if here's the thing. I mean, I've had some bad days. I will have a tilt day every once in a while, for sure. And usually that's when usually when that happens, it's a sizing error too. But the really bad days were like last summer. Those were bad. Some of those were really bad. Now they're stacking a 7K at 21, and they're making me want to buy 21.5 again. And the E-mini is showing a little bit of a oh no, wait, that was, yeah, see, the E-mini did tick up a little bit there. If it becomes a fuckfest of people idolizing each other, it becomes a mess. The guru shit is stupid. Show me a trader who is imperfect and has to struggle like a normal human. right? Well, I think it's just everywhere else that I see that you get two things. Either one, they're not giving you the full picture. You know, they're only telling you like one really specific thing, and they're not really diving into why it happens and all of the nuances of it, right? And then, you know, they're trying to make money, and so the way to make money is to try and come off like you're perfect. And so then everybody has these unreasonable expectations about what trading is. Like, to me, so like that's what I was saying, like Uzi, when we started out, Uzi was taking like 1 tickers, right? And if you're taking 1 tickers, you're going to get, you know, you can get a 60-70% win rate. Now he's like super selective. So that's the way it's going to happen. If you're more like me and you're trading, you know, anywhere from 2 to 6 trades a day, and you're trying to get, you know, the average range or more on a trade, you're doing good if you're hitting over 50%, you know? Okay, that is stacking up, but there's an iceberg at 21.5. Every bad day Seth has, and how he reacts to it is relatable. I've dealt with that and still do occasionally deal with that. Yeah, totally. Like, the thing is that the tilt thing in particular, I think that I'm particularly vulnerable to it. But like, it's going to happen to everybody every once in a while. That's just the way that our brains work, is when you're doing poorly, doing poorly doesn't all of a sudden make you better at trading the action, right? Doing poorly just makes you want to try harder. And sometimes that just means that you make more mistakes. But I don't think, at this point, I don't think that there is hardly anything that the market could possibly throw at me that would make me want to just straight up quit. I mean, I've gotten to points where I was like, you know, like last summer, where I was like, this is just doesn't work anymore, and I don't want to do it because it sucks. But it's like, it's so much a part of my routine and everything. I couldn't even, I don't think I would be able to live with myself if I wasn't doing it anymore. I would feel like I had like betrayed who I was if I stopped trading. You know what I mean? So even if we still have problems, even if I have to go through long periods of time trading sim, I'm going to keep trying. But we've been doing okay recently, haven't we? It sucks that I didn't get filled at 25, right? Ugh. I think if I had gotten filled at 25 and I could have taken it off at like, well, I don't know. I would hope that I would have taken it off by now. I might be willing to buy this 21.5 now. Depends on if this 21 is going to pump up here or not. I believe you need to love the market in order to stay on your feet with all the ups and downs you have to deal with. Yeah. Well, so that's another interesting thing, is like, I've heard many other traders and gurus say that, you know, it's about making money, and you have to make money, and if you're not making money, what are you doing it for? And that sort of thing. I'm sure you've heard. So that stacked up to 7 now. So that is, I do want to take that the way that I just got it. Anyways, it seems to me that if you don't actually like the art of trading, and that to me is like the metagame of, are we going to be trending or are we going to be range bound, and trading against other people given what they know and all of that sort of, like, that is the rock paper scissors part of trading. Like if you don't enjoy that, if you're not into thinking about that and trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, so there was a big bid there in CT. So I think that this trade is good to go for a little bit more. But if you don't enjoy that, I just don't see how you last very long in trading. And I think that that is the real reason why the retail trader fail rate is 90%, because a lot of people think that the majority of those people come in and they have no clue what they're doing and they lose money and then they just give up. I think that actually most traders actually probably do come up with at one point a strategy that works in certain circumstances, but that they don't actually enjoy trading long enough to keep doing it long enough to figure out when their strategy works and when it doesn't, and actually, really make their strategy work. Yep. If you are just in this for the money, but you don't actually like it, I don't believe you are going to get through the rough times exactly. Okay, well, they were stacking a lot at 21.5, but there's still this big order in the 2-year that we're going to have to get over. And the E-mini is just buying, which is odd that they're both going up. But the E-mini, they've still got this local high here to deal with. And then the overnight high, so that might not actually take. Oof. Okay. I'm not sure I like what just happened there at 22. But they're still pushing into the ZT. I think that would... So I'm not really too familiar with how ZT does things, but I think that to really move up, we've got to see this big order get out of the way, right? Or maybe it pull and move up. Anyways, I think that most traders, they run into that thing where they just don't enjoy it enough to stick with it long enough. I think that the second thing that kills people is that they just don't have the support, right? Maybe the micro futures will help with that, but if you don't have the emotional support from like family and things like that, and that's very hard to come by these days. Like, especially if you're a younger guy, your peers they don't really believe in markets anymore. They don't understand how they work, and they think that the markets are kind of like a scam, and especially when you're doing something as risky as futures, it's not uncommon for your spouse to come in and say, yeah, you're wasting your time. Let's just not do this. It's too much money, etc., etc. And it requires the right kind of understanding person, I think, to get through it. Well, that big order in ZT pulled a little bit. Market cycles signal imminent collision between reality and widespread fantasy. Says zero hedge. Always zero hedge with the market's about to get destroyed. Has this guy ever been bullish, like, ever in his life? If you want to make money, maybe that's the way to do it. Is just be really bearish Maybe get lucky one time. You know, get your article posted on Zero Hedge so that you get the traffic coming into you. That's the way to do it, folks. That 21.5 is not holding as strong as I want. Okay, so the ZT just flipped there. See how now there's a really big order on the bid? That's interesting. And of course, as that happens, this is pulling and they're trying to... Do you have an afternoon job or have you been doing this full time? No, I have an afternoon job. So I live in the mountain time zone, you know, and I work at a tech company and nothing really gets going there until 9:30. And so that allows me to be able to trade like the first 2 hours of the action before I go into work. And then I still put in a full regular day of work. I wish I did it full time. I would love to like do something like stream in the morning and then spend the rest of the day creating like political analysis content or something like that. I think that would be cool. That's kind of why I started doing the Democrat campaign thing once a week. One was to, you know, learn all of this stuff involved in doing that, because I've had to learn a lot about editing and the right way of filming it and everything, and even kind of how to prepare it and stuff. I wish I mean I kind of like wing it when I'm doing it, but I wish that I had like a teleprompter and I could like read off of a script or something. So they're trying to push it back up at 21.5. They're battling it out there a little bit. Yeah, he's still able to keep it by quite a bit, trading there at 21.5. It's coming awfully close to becoming the point of control now. Of course, if the point of control is moving up, that is good for Y, but okay, yeah, but just became the point of control. Okay, and here's the E-mini now. I'm gonna move this over. Oh, but I want CB. Here we are. Here's the E-mini. Okay. No, they're not going to fill me there. Okay. So it ticked down and they bought it a little bit, but then it didn't stay bid. ZT still looks bullish though. And also, it does really look like ZF is steepening things. Like ZF is up 3 ticks, and we're only up 1 tick on these two. Okay, there's the E-minis going. So it looks like I missed my trade in the E-mini, because that was all I wanted to catch. Yeah, on this I don't know. There's the VWAP. I wonder, can they make an impulse past the VWAP? They're still having a hard time at 22.5, aren't they? See, they're not even hitting it. And that there's still this big one in ZT. Shows up. Oh, there you go. So is the E-mini going to go down more? I mean, the cumulative delta suggests that they could. I don't want to take it, but I want to watch here to see, you know, if this is a continuation, where would be this place to take it? What's the thing that I can see in the E-mini that would do it? Okay, so there they did take it. This obviously isn't happening. And the VWAP is good. What does CT say? Sorry, ZF say. I think ZF wants more, but we'd still have to get above this big order in CT. Come on. They don't want to do it. So there's the E-mini reversing for a bit, and you can see that there's some selling and they come back a little bit. I didn't really see a spot that would have been safe to have taken a short on that downtrend, you know. Maybe here, if as it's coming up, maybe you could fade it for another turn down, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. So I guess there wasn't really a second trade in there. But maybe it will give us another trade after 8 o'clock. Now over here in the Treasury side, it still looks like it's flipped, but that ZT is still being stubborn right here. So it might just be really slow going for a long time. Like we may just need to stay in this for a long time and just be really patient. And we can keep a tight leash on it because of the way that it's moved, so I'm okay with that. Okay. There, E-mini is turning down a little bit again. Okay, ZT is puffing up again. I'm noticing that when it downticks, it looks kind of aggressive, but then they never get anything about it. Right? It would be very difficult, if not impossible, to even pull a tick. Well, to get more than one tick to the downside, let's say. So that suggests that if we are still in an uptrend and it continues to go up, that it's because there is passive buyers. Hmm. Come on, buy that in ZT. I really want to see that big order get plowed through. E-mini's still a lot of buy-in so far. Oh, cool. John Grady posting the webinar links. Okay. Well, the E-mini looks like way unbalanced. Like they're only a few ticks from new lows, but they're still at the highs of the session in cumulative delta. And lots trading on both sides here now in the 10-year. But the 2-year's still not ready to go. How's Bitcoin doing? Nothing interesting. They're struggling to even stay in this profile here in the equities. Indispose. So now the bid in ZT is getting really thick. It's now 33. That's 3 times bigger than it was before. There they are. This setup in the E-mini just looks like it has a lot of potential to be really ugly. I mean, I would think that they would get at least to this like 2642 area. Sorry, 2842. Treasuries have certainly done a very slow but clear, I don't want to say certain, but clear turn. Now it's 50K, 60K. Wait, and then it completely pulls? What the fuck? There it goes. Like it stacks a ton. It was 50 at one point, now it's 20. And when we were seeing 10 over here, that was a big one. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the 2 years, so I don't know if that's significant or unusual or what, but it's definitely interesting to me. Somebody really wants fills there. Okay. So there's a 10K iceberg at 23 in the 10-year. Right about in a spot where I think we would expect to see some profit taking. And we tick up and there is still 13K on the offer. But they did get through it now, and they're hitting 23.5. Maybe they can keep going. Westminster seems to be treating Article 50 extension as a foregone conclusion, but the European Union wants to know what extension will lead to, even if it's a short one. May would need to come to Brussels with a proposal. Indicative votes is popular with several member states and commission, says James Rothwell. No clue who that is, but he is probably a politician in the UK. I really don't want them to extend Brexit. I wish that they would just say, we like this deal, and be done with it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Donald Trump says Facebook, Google, and Twitter, not to mention the corrupt media, are so on the side of the radical left Democrats. But fear not, we will win anyways, just like we did before. Go and sell Facebook, bro. That's what I would do. I think they are, because the e-minis are going down after that tweet. Not like he's saying that he's going to go after them or anything, but it's not a positive thing for those stocks. Donald Trump talking mean about you. One minute warning for factory orders. What are we looking for with factory orders? We're looking for a 0.3% is what the forecast is. Okay, there's not a big stack in ZT anymore. It's gone. The speaker says any extension on Article 50 will have to be approved by the House of Commons. Sometimes one past the okay, so here we got an actual 0.2 for factory orders, and then the other one was an actual factory orders month over month was actually 0.1% versus an estimated 0.3%, which is negative. Did see a tick up there as the news came out, but they're not like making a huge deal out of it. And ZT appears to be finally about to tick up past that that really big number that I can't say. 250. Okay, but a little bit of profit taking at 23.5, I think. Will the E-mini plunge down for another sweep lower? Or should I take 23.5? Scott Adams talks about the best week ever for President Trump and maybe the country with coffee. I'm going to have to watch that because I don't see how this past week was really great for Donald Trump. But let's see. These past weeks, the market has been super slow, not as much back and forth action. I wonder if something has changed, Forrest. Um, well, yes and no. So there has been a couple of days in the past week of trading that were pretty slow, right? Yesterday was pretty bad. Thursday was pretty bad. And beginning of last week was pretty bad. But there's also been some pretty strong trend days. Today was a pretty strong trend day. I guess we gotta take it. Oh, actually, no. I think I can wait. Can wait here and see how this price reacts. ZT's still not able to get up out of that range. That's interesting. Okay. Anyways, there has been some strong trends, but something has changed. We're on June contract now, right? And the needs of people to trade between March and June and hold it through a whole contract is very different from the people that are holding it from January to March. So the market has changed. And my experience has been, well, that 4K there kind of makes me wish that I had taken it off now. My experience has been that in this June contract, we tend to not move as much. But in March and the beginning of April, you'll still have opportunities. You'll still have trends like we are now, especially like with FOMC and all that. Fine. Fine. I'm a little frustrated to have been in this long and only be getting 3 ticks, but that's what happens when you miss the big move down. Unfortunately. Fed says FOMC meeting starts as planned at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which was just now. Gosh dang it. It's gonna be like that, huh? That bid in ZT is not holding. The E-mini is moving up again. Hello?
Remember to take the kids to school.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys, don't let me forget. I have to take the kids to school in 30 minutes. I have a very poor memory, and I lose track of what I'm doing very often. So I do need to be reminded of things like that. But like, really, am I going to forget to take the kids to school? That's ridiculous. Okay, there's the E-minis. She's kind of eyeing a new low.
It did cause some buying in the treasuries, but they're not hitting my price at 23. Wait, FOMC is today. It's on the calendar for tomorrow. Well, so what happens is they do their meeting starts Tuesday. So they do it Tuesday and Wednesday morning, and then the announcement is on Wednesday. So, oh, I forgot to tell my work that tomorrow is FOMC day and that I'm going to take a half day. But I do plan on staying home tomorrow. All right, come on, sell that. Sell that spool. Oh, right. Yes. Okay, he understands. Yeah. The thing that we trade is not until tomorrow. It's like it's all okay. And honestly, I'm not so sure if I want to actually trade that FOMC because this action going into it has been a little weird. Okay, I got filled. Sure. But all that does is cancel out that bad mistake that I made from earlier. Which sucks. Because I should have that one shouldn't happen. Then I should have a +4 day. Maybe even a +5 or 6. If I had gotten, an extra tick here and there. ZB traded the whole week's range today. Yeah. And see, the thing is I'm still not sure if this was because of Brexit news. I mean, there's some kind of correlation, but I'm not seeing anything in the euro or sterling that is like screams, currencies are moving because of Brexit. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Well, ZB really came back there on that pullback. The knobs, that pushed the knob up. Huh. Yeah, this action in the knob spread is not normal. It's not normal. The 30-year came down there at 15. Okay, then now they're taking 14. But you can see that the 10 and the 5 are holding their prices much more. I think that ZB really wants to come down there. ZB really pushed down there strong. They might be giving us another long here. Let's watch. Should probably also take this time to post my notes. Don't think I have any outstanding orders, right? Right. They talked to her like she's not coming back for a long time. Because normally, that's good. That's like, you know, they'd be going to their dad's, but their dad is starting a new job and has to be in Dallas for like a month or whatever. And so they pretty much are here. Like, we have them full time this month. So she has to work early. So she'll just see him this afternoon. But they're all talking like she's going away and they won't see her again for another week. I guess one thing I should point out, this one that I took at 22, which I really shouldn't have done, should have only been -2. So like in real life that would have been -2, and probably if I had managed it correctly it would have been -1. So that happens a lot, and it's screwed me over a lot. Donald Tusk was scheduled to do a press conference with Leo Varadkar in Dublin this afternoon, but it is no longer happening. Due to unusually high volume, Tesla was unable to process all orders by midnight on Monday, so the slight price rise on vehicles is postponed to midnight Wednesday. Well, you could maybe buy it again at 21.5. That's the price that they're giving us. I thought it was going to be a little bit lower than that, so I'm not sure that I'm as interested in it, especially since E-mini did not just like careen down there and is buying okay and is mostly chop. So I'm not so sure I really actually want to take a trade here anymore. But it's still a possibility, I suppose. Let's see. I'm so confused. I think I got some dates screwed up on this thing over here. Oh well. I think I was supposed to do something on Thursday and I missed it. They are buying it here at 22. I think that there could be another push up towards 24. There just seems to be a lot of distribution here though, right? And like, see, the cumulative delta is mostly up. Anyways, mistakes were made. Interesting day. Tomorrow's gonna be tomorrow's gonna be really interesting. Okay, guys. Well, I don't think that I'm going to take another thing, so I think I'm just going to end it a little bit early today. Sounds like most of you guys did better than I did, so that's good. We're still profitable, so let's not complain. Some of these could have been more, you know, that sell 21.5 could have maybe gotten 2. That buy at 20.5 could have gotten probably 3 out of that one, you know, could have been better, but I think that our trades were mostly good. And even this one was kind of like, you know, we had it right, but we were a little bit early and they flipped it against us before taking it higher. So, yeah, good job. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. I do plan on sticking around so we can do 2 streams to watch the FOMC together. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and in the meantime, stay profitable.